Hello guys, Shaye here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about 21 Pilots' debut project, self-titled, released in 2009, along with their second album, Regional at Best, released in 2011. These were independently released digitally, also on CD, before joining a record label known as Fueled by Ramen, that's also owned by Warner. Ever since then, they've released Vessel, Blurry Face, and Trench. These two albums are definitely cherished by hardcore fans of the band because they have some raw qualities and genuinely just more emotional lyrics. I mean, you could call it, more real if you want, but I just think it's just a more genuine 21 Pilots. Obviously, they weren't on a record label, they didn't have as much support, so really what you're listening to here is genuinely 21 Pilots. Something to take note of is that in 2009, their debut project, self-titled, that is not Josh and Tyler. That's actually Tyler and two other people, Chris and Nick. Chris was the old drummer, and Nick was a bassist, and he sometimes would play synths and pianos and whatnot. So nowadays, you actually can't purchase these albums. Well, you can purchase self-titled on iTunes, but you can't buy the digital files, and you can't buy it on vinyl or CD. You can only buy it on iTunes or stream it on Spotify. Regional at Best, on the other hand, you actually can't buy anywhere. You can only stream it on certain services that actually support it, which is mainly just Deezer and I think Pandora. You can obviously pirate the albums and get the official copies, which I have done, which, I mean, what's so bad about pirating an album you can't buy anymore? I don't know if there's a problem with that. Who knows? Warner, I'm sorry, but listen. These albums are incredible, and I honestly think everyone has the right to purchase them and cherish them like I have. Regional at Best is genuinely my favorite album ever, consisting of songs that I love to an insane, I don't even know. Nowadays, you can buy official copies of the CDs on eBay, but they resell for hundreds, maybe even thousands, if considering if it's signed or other, little rarities. So fans have remedied this by making their own fan copies, me myself included. Actually, I have some up here. I actually have made 2 fan CDs out of these, if you guys don't know. These were not released under jewel cases, which are these plastic little things I'm holding. Regional at Best was released in a digipack, which is something that, Blurry Face has one of those. It's just plastic all around. It's no plastic like this. And people have, made their own fan CDs with their own little inserts and pretty much making the official CD out of a jewel pack. Along with self-titled, I kind of did my own custom thing here. It's kind of cool. It's not finished yet, but a lot of fans have found a solution with the whole CD issue and making their own, which is pretty cool. Well, about a year ago, out of nowhere, 21 Pilots fans started noticing these weird listings on eBay and whatnot, pretty much claiming you can get a vinyl of these 2 projects. Me, myself, being an ultra fan, I definitely bought the Regional at Best one. Something to talk about before I show you guys these, I have the first pressings. The first pressings are the first one that were pressed. Nowadays, you can find tons of these. There's so many different colors and variants of colors, but back then you only could find Regional at Best in orange and clear, and I think 21 Pilots self-titled in like yellow and clear or something. Or maybe white and clear, I don't know. There were only certain colors you could find back then, and nowadays there's a bunch of different ones. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys my 2 bootleg vinyl copies of Regional at Best and self-titled. We're going to start off with self-titled. I do have old videos showcasing my Regional at Best, but back then I wasn't really much of a vinyl user, and I kind of treated my Regional at Best a little less delicately as I should, but here is self-titled. Obviously, this is not the official album art. The official album art is this. Now, the reason they did this is to avoid copyright, I'm assuming. So here it is. You can kind of see a little block. You can see the paint going down with the ceiling fan, like just on the regular album art, except it's not cracked and whatnot. You have 21 Pilots written on the side with the old lines. And then if we switch to the back, we also have a alternative track listing, but it takes definitely a lot of inspiration from the original track list. We have the complete original track listing of the self-titled record, and on the bottom we have a little 21 Pilots is Tyler Joseph, Chris Saley, and Nick Thomas. MySpace.com/21 Pilots. Fun fact, that's not Chris's name. It's not spelt like that. They messed up, whatever. I don't know if maybe they fixed this in the future printings, but this is one of the originals, so maybe I have a rarity here or something, I'm not sure. Anyway, something I didn't mention is that these both come in 2 LPs. You get 2 vinyl copies of the album, or not copies. You get the whole album, but you get 2 records. Pretty much, here's what I'm trying to say. This is it. We have side A, side B, side C, side D. Boom. I'm just going to show you guys what one of these look like because, why not? Actually, let me show you guys this first. So here we're taking a look at side A, but they're all the same thing. Side A, U001V, 21 Pilots, and then obviously track listing with some cool little sync thing going down there. Well, one thing that people, at least you can't see in this, is that these are actually made by some people in Russia. There's a 21 Pilots fan club which has pressed bootleg CDs and records like this, and now they're making these. You can find some weird CDs online. I'm not going to get too in depth because this isn't real 21 Pilots, but they made some mix CDs of some of their really old work. Personally, I find it kind of sketchy, but whatever. This is what the clear record looks like. It's really nice, honestly, and it plays great. I honestly was surprised to hear the sound quality wasn't that bad. They are a little quiet. I don't know if they fixed some of these issues in the later pressings, but here is one of the originals. It's really cool. I don't have any like scratches or anything on it. I have like this weird marking on this, but it plays fine. I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah, no, you're probably not going to get on camera. So yeah, this is what they look like. Now, I'm not going to be playing these on video because I'm sure you all have heard music before, and so, you know, I mean, I would, but it's just kind of like, y'all know what music sounds like. I'm not going to play that. So next up, we have definitely my favorite record ever. I'm so happy I have it on vinyl. I actually have 2 copies. Well, my girlfriend has another one. I got 2. By the way, guys, something to mention, back then, they sold for a lot cheaper than they do now. Now they're like 80, 60, even more. Back then, I actually got all these for 20 bucks, which is kind of insane. Anyway, here's the Regional at Best album. This does kind of look like an original album art, but if you look closely, it's actually watercolored. So again, they had to make an alternate cover art to avoid copyright, I'm assuming. And you can actually find these in record stores, actually, something I didn't mention. There's record stores selling these things, which has to be illegal. Anyway, now 21 Pilots has moved on and they've created their symbol, and they kind of created a new aesthetic for themselves that would carry on into Vessel. Obviously, this album is Josh and Tyler. Fun fact, Josh is actually not on this album. All the instruments are completely made with MIDI instruments with Nick helping Tyler. A lot of people don't know this. Josh was in the band playing live shows, but Nick mainly helped on this album. We have the track listing here, and something weird to take note of is that House of Gold is on here. Well, House of Gold actually wasn't on the official track listing of Regional at Best. There is a demo version of House of Gold along with Screen and an unreleased song called 2 that they released via email, which they did kind of call a bonus track, but there was never any copies that came with this track. This kind of points it out right away that it's a bootleg, but still, it's something cool to have. On the bottom, you can see 21pilots.com, and that's it. Anyway, same as last time, we have 2 records here, same thing. We got 2 records, we got the 21 Pilots logo on them, and we have a little bit more information in the middle. As you guys can see on this one, we have a track listing, but on the bottom we have hashtag top rab1. This is side C. And then on the top, if you read it, you can't really read it because it's very small, but I'll just read it for y'all. CP 2017 21 Pilots Fan Club. All rights reserved. For promo use only. Support the artist by purchasing their music made in Russia. So this confirms that it is made in Russia by the 21 Pilots fan club, whoever makes these. And they're pretty much saying, go support the artist, you know, this is for promo use, this isn't official. They're not trying to really scam anyone, but obviously probably a lot of people buy these thinking they're real without looking into it, especially with them being so widely available now. Anyway, same as before, we have a clear vinyl here. Plays great, a little quiet. Not really bad quality. It's definitely not lossless, or I mean not lossless, but it's definitely not up to par with studio, but it's still pretty good quality and something that it's just really cool. The vinyl feels really sturdy and well made. It's not flimsy or anything, so don't worry about that. Plus, I'm sure with the new copies they have improved on some of these little quirks. But yeah, so Regional at Best and self-titled on vinyl. It's really cool. I'm really happy someone did this. Hopefully someday we'll get to see No Fun Intended on vinyl. Anyway guys, we have 21 Pilots self-titled and Regional at Best on vinyl, and it's something that's really cool. I'm really happy I have them. You guys can get them too. Just hop on eBay or some other site and find them. Personally, I'll try to get yourself a good deal on them. Nowadays they're pretty expensive, so you know, I wouldn't be asking this for like a gift if, you know, you want your parents to get you something, because they are bootleg. It's not like some premium experience. Obviously, the official copies of their newer albums are they're just better. But these are pretty cool. And yeah, if you have any questions about them, I don't know what questions you would have, but if you do, ask them in the comments. And yeah, I'm not going to be providing any links to buy these, sadly, because these aren't official, and I'm not going to promote a unofficial copy of something, even though I think these do deserve to be official at least. What I'm trying to say is that they should probably make these official, before these get too popular and possibly get cheaper and like widely produced. It'd be a shame to see, you know, these Russian people, not that they're Russian, it'd be sad to see some people that aren't 21 Pilots making a buttload of money for stuff that 21 Pilots did. So hopefully maybe someday we'll see, you know, actual official releases of these records, whether it be digital or on CD or vinyl, cassette, whatever. It'd be really cool to see that someday, but for now we mainly have these and making our own little CDs. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please show it by liking and commenting, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.